Hello, my fellow Montclair residents. I'm Mayor Sean Spiller, and it is with great humility that I help to introduce our township's virtual Veterans Day recognition program. What we continue to focus on is honoring and thanking the brave men and women who serve and have served in our armed forces. While we continue to live with the realities of 2020 and an ongoing pandemic, we still acutely focus on and recognize the commitment, sacrifices, inconveniences, and courage that our veterans display each day, day after day, year after year after year. The freedoms we enjoy, the ability to debate and disagree, the chance to pursue a more just and fair society, are rooted in the protective space of our Constitution. The Constitution that our veterans defend with their oath and their actions. So today is a day for us to show our appreciation. For family members serving overseas, separated for the holidays, to neighbors deployed safeguarding our seas, to friends or loved ones who have served honorably for this great nation, state, and township, we say thank you. Thank you for all you do and have done. Thank you for stepping up and stepping forward. We formally recognize you this day, Veterans Day, but we thank you each and every day.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
A little background as to who I am and what Veterans Day means to me through my own eyes and my own actions. People always ask, how can I thank a veteran? It's simple, and through my own story, I could show you how. I was in the Marine Reserves and my unit was located in Rhode Island. I was also going to University of Rhode Island. I got a call one day from my platoon sergeant asking if I wanted to deploy to Afghanistan. The first thing you can do is volunteer at one of the many local veteran service organizations out there. I'm not saying you have to volunteer to go to Afghanistan, but there are plenty of groups back home that can use the help. Before I knew it, I was on my first flight to Camp Lejeune, and I got attached to a unit called CLB-6. We were part of OEF, Operation Enduring Freedom, and I was a gunner overseas. Yes, there's a lot of acronyms in the military. It was a rough deployment, as you can imagine. Big trucks attract big IEDs. We got hit hard, and when I got back home from Afghanistan, they put me on medical hold, and because I was really struggling hard. I went and got the help I needed to get back on track, and it was not an easy task. I had a great family support system, but unfortunately, a lot of veterans out there don't. Just calling your family member or friend who is a vet and asking them how they are doing is another way you can get involved and help us vets. After seeing the issues and problems veterans face through my own battle, I knew what needed to be done. I found my purpose again, and that fire inside me was really strong. You do not need to be a veteran to get involved or support our veterans. Alexa, the co-founder of Backpacks for Life, who I'm also lucky enough to call my girlfriend, has been through this entire journey with me, and right now is in California at an event for nonprofit leaders making global impact from around the world. She is also teaching entrepreneurship at NYU to a group of veteran spouses. She is the definition of a leader in the veteran community and a good example of how others can support veterans in different ways. Alexa and I developed a backpack specifically engineered to help veterans survive and get off the streets. They're filled with supplies, toiletries, and most importantly, resources. Hosting a supply drive or toiletry drive for a veteran service organization is another great way you can get involved to support our veterans. We've given out over 7,000 backpacks and have worked with thousands of individual homeless and at-risk veterans nationwide. This all started with just giving out a backpack to a homeless veteran I encountered and through my own journey. Just giving a water bottle, food, and most importantly resources to a veteran in need can make all the difference. What does Veterans Day mean to me and how do I thank a vet? It started with the one backpack and showing the community how we can all get involved. Thank you and happy Veterans Day.
Let me take you back. Right after the war, I filed a claim for disability claim because of my severe hearing, nerve damage and all that. Anyhow, it was turned down, and I just let the matter lapse. I was too busy getting on with my life. Fast forward over half a century. With Mark, he decided, this is an interesting case. Let me reopen it. And he again filed the claim again, and it became an obsessive mission with him to follow this through, and he worked like a dog for 3 years to get this thing going. Finally, just last year, he contacted Senator Cory Booker's office that, in the hope that they could help along, expedite, grease the wheels. And also, and this is important, to ask, why didn't I receive a Purple Heart, and would I be entitled to it to get it now? Well, anyhow, this led to the Army reviewing my service history, and they came back and said, sorry, no Purple Heart, you should have applied for it sooner. However, there's a terrific silver lining. Or a little, maybe I should say a bronze lining today. Anyhow, they came back reviewing the history of POC, etc. The war record says he is retroactively entitled to a Purple Heart. So here I am. I'm sorry, I misspoke. To the Bronze Star, which was of course a real stunning thing. And I was literally speechless. Well, speechless, not my wife, Susan, my wife of 63 years. She encapsulated this thing in an absolutely priceless one-liner. Jerry, she said, better retroactive than posthumous.
Veterans Day started as Armistice Day, a day to honor the end of World War I, which ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The day was originally dedicated to world peace. After having been through World War II and Korean War, and at the urging of veteran service organizations, Congress replaced the word armistice with the word veterans. 11 November became a day to honor American veterans of all wars and services. Today honors those men and women, past and present, living and dead, who have served in the military of our great country. The patriot Thomas Paine said, "Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must undergo the fatigue of supporting it." Some of you here today may have borne that fatigue and have experienced the unimaginable horror of war, so that the citizens of the United States may reap the blessings of freedom. Thank you for inspiring me and many, many others to take the oath of service. As veterans, the men and women with whom we served helped define us. As I prepared my remarks for today, I reflected on the many amazing veterans who influenced me to volunteer to serve my country. The veterans of all creeds and colors with whom I served, and the veterans that, by their actions, helped me to understand the phrase coined by General Douglas MacArthur, duty, honor, country. I reflected on the conversation that I had with my Uncle Harry, an Army Lieutenant Colonel, days before my Army enlistment. He strongly encouraged me to join the Navy. I recall him saying something about Navy boot camp being easier and the food being better. I reflected on the men whom I trained under and served with, men who fought in battles in the cold of Korea and in the jungles of Vietnam. I reflected on my conversations with Sergeant Major Adderley, the humblest and most badass human being I know, who is part of the 6th Special Forces Group, participated in the Son Tay POW rescue mission, who taught me the importance of intense, mindful preparation and to always put the safety and the comfort of my men before my own.
Thank you. That was Carl Witzig who performed the sounding of the taps.